Welcome, everyone, to a Mexican or Redneck Follow the World. We are your hosts and surrogate fathers, Juan and Ben. Today, we'll be discussing you're a beta male until you become an alpha male.
That's the sound of an alpha male.
Welcome
Welcome
to the show.
to the show.
Yes.
Couple
All right,
of
Ben.
alpha males.
All right, Ben. So, I'm going to be a good beta here and just move out of your way. No.
I'm glad you've accepted the inevitable. No, that was just a little joke. But
Yeah, we're not betas here.
we keep bringing we do bring a lot of guns to the show. It seems
We
like
do live in Alabama.
there's a lot of guns around us.
I would say there's not enough guns around us.
Maybe a few more. Goals.
Yeah.
Life goals.
Yeah, life goals. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to have a room just completely covered with guns. Like
With
our
the
sound-
word America.
yeah, America.
No, just America.
America.
Just
Yeah.
starting with the M.
Like our soundproof room should be our sound barrier should be guns. Yes.
That's good. That's good. Okay, enough of that nonsense. Or is it?
It's not nonsense.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
If you don't have a gun, what's wrong with you?
just go learn to use it and then go get one.
Yeah.
Learn to use it first. Got to be respectful. Got to be safe. And then
Natural
go get one.
selection.
Some people need them for other reasons. Okay. No. Yeah, you're a beta male until you become an alpha male.
Yeah, this is big.
This
Big
big.
one.
This is a big one. This is a big one. No, I started thinking about what does it mean to be an alpha male? And I asked my brother-in-law Ben. Shout out to my brother-in-law Ben. He is a true original listener. He's been with us for all these months as we develop, and we appreciate Ben listening.
Appreciate you, Ben.
Appreciate you, Ben. But I asked him one day, we were talking, and I said, when you think of it, when I say alpha male, what comes to mind? And he said, that guy who wakes up at 4:30 and works out and eats raw eggs and, reads books and is like, you got to exercise. And he's all jacked and stuff. And we started discussing how, society views an alpha male as that jacked guy who's telling you to go work 12 hours and exercise. And there is nothing wrong with that. That's a great element. You need to take care of your body. You need to work hard. And they're putting out some good guidance there. I really agree with all that stuff, but I think every man is a beta until he becomes the alpha.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it stops, where you achieve a true alpha status. I just know that.
Well, we'll define that though. Like, what is like? Give a little bit clearer definition as far as like what is an alpha? Like, I mean, is it just somebody who's aggressive? Is somebody who's just overbearing? Is somebody that just
And that was the conversation. It was like, well, society says it's that aggressive, overbearing, go exercise guy. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that part of it. But the other thing is like, well, what about his relationships? Can people even stand to be around that guy if it's not to build the business or work out? Does he have failed marriages?
Mm-hmm.
Does he have failed relationships with his children or does he have good relationships with everyone around him and he's just a strong advocate of exercise and hard work and all the stuff you see, and that's kind of what I want to do, because when I was younger and trying to learn how to be a man, I would see those guys and think, well, I hate waking up at 4:30 in the morning. Like I tried waking up at 4:30 and exercising, and I hated every minute of it. And after weeks of waking up early to exercise, I stopped because I was just tired all the time. I didn't feel better.
Yeah.
I wasn't making better choices, but I kind of had to figure out, well, wait, maybe alpha might look a little different. which I exercise. I like exercising. I like eating right. I work hard, and so I started really thinking,
Mm-hmm.
what is an alpha? And I we discussed this in our episodes. What is a man? But an alpha in the traditional sense that we view it as, he takes care of his business. He makes a deal or takes out a debt. He works hard to pay that debt off. He makes hard to see that deal through. His word is his bond. He works very hard. He is always respectful. I think he's meek, knowing maybe he can be aggressive, but
Mhm.
chooses not to, because that's not what's needed. But I think an alpha male also knows how to forgive and move forward, and that's not talked about as much. Like, it's really not addressed. Forgiveness is important, because if you're just running around with these out of control emotions, are you really an alpha?
Right.
Because you're not in control of that part of your life. And that's kind of what I'm trying to drive at of all of this is an alpha is going to weigh all the circumstances, all the situations. And it's not just about being the captain of a ship, as you would see, or a leader of some organization or business. It's about, does he really have control over his whole life?
Yes.
Or is he just have control of some of his life? And that's kind of the picture I'm starting to learn is an alpha is going to have good relationships with everyone he meets. And I think that should be the first and foremost. And he's going to care more about that person and talk to that person and tell them what they need to hear, because in a loving, kind way, if they need it. Sometimes some people need it aggressively, I guess, but it's going to be out of love, most importantly. And he's going to say out of love, you need to stop using drugs, or you're addicted to social media, or you need to stop being so lazy, or what you're doing right now with your kids, that is a great parenting technique, and I hope you continue to do it. Those are true statements, I think, of an alpha, not just exercise, lift weights, get rid of the toxic people. It's like, well, those are great, yeah, but those are just introductory things. That's not getting down to the core of what truly makes a man an alpha, when he's standing there doing the right thing and everyone around him is cowering down or walking away or saying you're wrong, and he's like, no, I know I'm right.
Right. There's a big difference between doing just enough to look like an alpha versus doing what it takes to be the alpha.
I wish you could have just said that at the beginning so I didn't have to explain the past 7 minutes. No, I'm kidding. But that's good. Looking like an alpha versus being an alpha, because appearances are great, but they're fleeting.
Man, oh, dude, I've seen it. So you see it so much too, as far as like in corporate America. That guy who's he's the VP, and like when it comes to his business, like it's on point. He's got the suit, nice press, shoes, clean, haircut, everything. But then you get home and it's a broken mess. Kids don't want to be around him. It's like friends, non-existent. He's that lonely dude. But when it comes to driving this business, he's got it. So he's done just enough to where, like, according to the world's view, that's the alpha. You want to be like that guy. But then when you look and open up his closet, nothing but bones.
Oh yeah.
And that's not what you're talking about. You're talking about the guy that you walk into every room of his house and it's like, man, this guy's in control.
Yeah.
His kids love being around him. People love being around him. He might not be the most successful guy monetarily, but it's like, he has success because he has community, he has love, he has, he has good, solid friendships.
And that's the true wealth. That's how you measure wealth, is the relationships of a man around him. And that's and just on a how-to level, like let's say you're 18 or whatever, and you're like, man, I'm 18, I'm out of high school, trying to enter the world. I want to be a man. What do I do? Because I thought about that too. I'm like, okay, well, I'm saying lifting weights and stuff is good. Waking up at 4:30 can be good, unless you're me, and I don't like it at all. I hate it. But some people need that stuff. That's great. They're giving you some basic how-tos to get you to the point to where you can really start taking control of everything. And, if you're a young man just trying to figure out, well, what do I do next? And you want to be an alpha, you need to put yourself in a challenging situation, a positive challenging situation. I need to clarify that. Don't just go drive your car off a cliff or something, but because that's a challenge.
I'm gonna challenge
And
myself.
it's a situation, but when you hit the bottom of the
a guy
rocks,
named Ben told me to put myself in the challenge situation.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
honor the road rules, please. The rules of the road are there for a reason. Please be careful when you drive.
And the rules of gravity.
And gravity. Honor that too. Don't drive your car off a cliff. but you need to put yourself in a positive, challenging situation and make that decision if you think it's the path you need to go, and you need to stay with it for a bit of time. You know, I started school, for example, to be a history teacher, and I got through 2 years, and when I got to my professional classes and really started understanding classroom management, I realized this is not going to be a satisfying path for my life. I like the mentoring part of it, but something about it, just everything was screaming, no, this can't happen. And I had to stop. I had to accept that defeat. And there are people who would argue, well, you went the beta route and backed out. It's like, well, but I knew that wasn't a path my life needed to go. I did not want to teach, 6th grade through 12th grade history. It just wasn't going to work for me. And I redirected and became a diesel mechanic because I always loved mechanics, and it's proven to be a great path that I totally am thankful I pursued. But I had to, and that's why I say stay with it for a bit, because maybe the path you choose after a couple of years, you realize this just isn't what I want to do. But you make a positive decision, whether it be a specialized training or you get with a group. When it gets hard, you need to stick with it. Don't just quit because it's hard. And you're becoming an alpha male when you know that you can handle any situation, but you're a beta when you feel like life is too hard and quit. So the alpha walks in and says, okay, I don't know exactly what's happening here, but I can handle it.
Yeah.
I know I've got this. If it beats me, fine, I'm dead. But until it kills me, I've got this. And once it kills me, it doesn't matter. Where a beta is like, oh, this feels too hard. I can't do this. Maybe I should go ask this person because I don't know what to do.
And let's clarify that, because asking for help is different than asking for somebody to do it for you.
Correct. That's what I meant to say. Someone to make the decision for you.
Yeah.
It's good to ask for guidance from a wiser person. It's good to seek counsel when you are overwhelmed.
Yes.
It's good to talk and get stuff off your mind. But at the same time, you have to be willing to make that decision.
Because that's part of being a good alpha male as well. Knowing when you've reached your limitations, but then instead of saying like, well, I'm being able to reach out to other stronger alpha males and be like, okay, you've gone before me. You know what you're doing. Help me in this situation so that I can get better. A beta male will be like, can you do this for me? And it's like, no, I can't do this for you. I can show you how to do it, but I'm not going to do it for you, which we talked a little bit about before. Like, I feel like in our society that we're living in right now, there's a lot of people out there who want to fish, but they don't necessarily want to learn how to fish.
Yes.
And I think that's, if you really want to be an alpha male, you're the guy that's asking, I don't just want to fish. I want to know how to fish. And then there's the next step after that. Once you know how to fish, you want to teach other people how to fish.
Yes. Thank you for clarifying all of that. Because after I said everything, I was like, am I saying this clearly? And obviously I wasn't. And it needed
you are. You are.
Okay.
Yeah. You just make,
Yeah, it's good clarification though. And how he chooses to live and die is his true freedom.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's one of the things that sets an alpha male apart from a beta. Beta. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
There's this YouTube guy. He might say stuff that offends you depending on who you are, but his name's Jesse Lee Peterson. And he has some very entertaining videos where he talks a lot about alpha males and beta males.
We need to tag him.
Oh,
on our
man.
YouTube.
We should.
And be like, hey,
I would love to talk to that guy. He might call me a beta after hearing this episode. I don't know. That's fine. I'll tell him he's wrong to his face. It's okay. No, he's entertaining. I encourage everyone to at least go and listen to him once, because you might get some pretty good stuff from him. But he'll say, "Oh, you a beta?" Say it really loud. He's got some good stuff. But like I said, it could offend you, but that's okay.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
sometimes you need to get a little offended.
But I like the perspective you brought to this, Ben, because it's there's so much more to being an alpha male other than just being aggressive and overpowering. But the humility, the meekness, the patience, the forgiveness, all those characteristics. It takes true strength to be a leader.
Oh
And it takes true strength to actually be one that says, like, I'm going to lead even if it gets hard. Even when challenges are going to be rough and tough. And I'm going to lead out of kindness, not out of fear.
Yes.
So I really like that.
It's kindness, and it's love for the people around you. Like, genuine, I care more about you than maybe not getting that job promotion or not being a part of that social circle. But I'm going to do what's right because it's the right thing to do, because I want to see good stay in the world, instead of doing the right thing because it might give me a hand up in the world. Those people are vapid and without character. And the people who do it just to get a hand up, doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And I say you're a beta until you become an alpha, because there are places in my life where I thought, oh, I'm an alpha male. It's like, well, in some areas, yes, but it's taken a while to realize there are other areas that you still have to grow in.
Yeah.
And like I said at the beginning, I don't know if a true alpha is ever actually like fully achieved. I don't know if that's possible or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
But
still pretty young, but I would consider both of us, like, yeah, I'm an alpha. I'll stand my own.
yeah.
I make decisions for my family. I asked my wife, I said, hey, Krista, is there a female alpha equivalent? Because I've never heard of it. Like alpha males, beta males. I'm like, are there alpha females? Like, I've never thought of this. And she's like, kind of. It's different. I said, how's it different? And she said, well, there's always seems to be like the leader of a female group, and she could be considered an alpha. She's like, but I consider myself an alpha. She's like, I'm going to do what's right because it's the right thing to do. I'm going to do what I know is right, independent of what the female leader alpha of a particular group I might belong to says to do. And she's like, also an alpha female will love, respect, and submit to her husband. I was like, really? And she said, yes. I said, now I'm going to quote this and we're going to put it on the internet. And then I'm going to have to interview you on the show so you can actually say that back and prove that I am married and this is real. And we're not just two dudes in a shed talking about our chickens. And she said, okay.
Oh, good.
So,
good.
yeah, she was open to being interviewed.
Good.
Like, that's good.
That'd be fun.
Anyways, with all that being said, we do have a YouTube channel, and we want you to take your first step at being an alpha male in our community of a Mexican and a redneck father the world. And we want you to go to our YouTube channel, and we want you to comment and like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new notifications, because that's what you're supposed to say when you're an influencer such as us.
Oh, yeah. Very much.
We thank you for listening to a Mexican and a redneck father of the world. We love you, and we are proud of you.